Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Consistency is key for business. This is very important because I'm going to tell you what. If you in business, you providing services, you selling a project, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. I'll give you two examples. One in the, quote unquote real world, and then one just on YouTube. Now, in the real world, I remember there was a place I had to take my shoes because, Rom is good with shoes. And honestly, a shoe repair place, a shoe cleaning place can always make money. All you have to do is just have a good location for it because shoes are important. That's a major thing. And a lot of people get some shoes and quite frankly, they like them. And, the heel might run over or something, but you just want to fix them. Okay. Now I had some boots and stuff, real expensive boots. I just wanted them cleaned. So I took them to this place and honestly, I saw some bad reviews about the place. They were talking about it wasn't consistent when it was open. So, I managed to get in there, dropped it off. But I remember when I wanted to get it, the dude wasn't open. And he would just randomly go on vacation and everything. And I saw some reviews that said the same thing. Now, the place itself is still there, but it's under new management. Dude had to sell it. And I'm thinking to myself, don't tell him how much money he lost just not being open consistently. Like if you have a brick and mortar business, first of all, it's hard to run as just one person. With a brick and mortar business, at a minimum, you need one other person. And really should have two or three, no matter what size it is, because you got to keep it open. When you say it's open, people need to know because they're on a schedule and everything. But see, he wasn't consistent. Thus, it's under new management. Now, YouTube, that's a business. Let's just be real. Once you can monetize your videos, it's a business. Indeed, you got a handful of people making millions off of YouTube. But then you have many more. They're making their rent off of YouTube. People might say, oh, it's just a few $1,000s. Depending on where you live, that's a lot of money. And you're making more money on YouTube than you probably would just working a regular job out here. $3,000 or $4,000 a month, that's a lot. I say if you're making $5,000 a month on YouTube, that's $60,000 a year. To deal with, put some money away for tax and everything. You living well. Because only 25%, and really less than that, really 23% of the U.S. population, and by comparison, really the global population lives on $50,000 a year. Who makes that much? So, but on YouTube, what I've noticed with a lot of creators, they might have some good stuff, but they're not consistent. And it doesn't mean you have to post every day. But if you tell people you're going to post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you need to do that. People need to know because I've seen some people who really got some good stuff, but then they're not consistent. And that's any business. I don't care what it is. You need to be consistent with your service. You need to open consistently. If you got a brick and mortar store or something like that, if you say you're going to open at 8, 99% of the time you need to open at 8, which means you need to be there at 7:30. That only 1% is when it's something seriously happened. There was some accident or something that prevented you from getting there. But that's when you have someone else and you might have to call them real quick and say, hey, can you open up? Something like that. This is very important. This is extremely important. People have to know you there because when you start a business, it's really hard to get just jump into it. You're going to make some money. But when you consistent with your services, when you consistent with opening on time, when you consistent being there, that actually helps you build up clientele. Because if a person knows, hey, I can go at this place at a certain time every time and get something, pick up a product or something like that. Or if I call this person for service, I'm going to hear back from them right away. And they're going to set the time they're going to be here. They're going to be there. That's very important. Because, see, an important thing in any type of business is repeat customers. Because actually, like any business, and I've talked about this before, but you especially need consistency for this. customer retention. Indeed, these billion-dollar corporations, they advertise more for customer retention than they do for new customers. Because once you have that customer retention, that's the money that's going to be there every month. But you got to be consistent, because as soon as you inconsistent, you're not open at a time or something. Like say somebody had an emergency. You got a product. They need it for an emergency or something. Like, I don't know, say you have a hardware product, some wrenches or something. People might say just a wrench. But what if somebody needs that right away? Like maybe you have a hardware store and someone, they need to fix, a toilet, put a new, flusher in or something. It's very important. They can't be using other. They might have just one toilet in their house. They got to fix it, right? They used to go to your place, but you're not consistent. You're not open when they need it. What do? They go someplace else and get it. All of a sudden, they look around and they're like, oh, wait a minute. They got more stuff here. They got great customer service. They're always open. Boom. All of a sudden, you lose a customer. And that's with the service, too. Because let's be real. It's very, very, very few businesses where you won't have competition. There's always somebody else. And sometimes people lose it. Just one bad customer service day. One, you miss an appointment, you don't show up is all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And you're like, oh, wait, they're friendly here. They got more stuff. Boom. See, you got to be consistent. I mean, no matter what you got, like you got to be consistently open. If you have a product, consistently good, just overwhelming consistency. That's how you can build a business. It might start off small. You might have few customers, either coming into your brick and mortar place or getting your service or buying your product online. But if they see consistency, they'll tend to stick with you, especially if you have a product that's, it's not technically called a sticky product, but I got that term from, my co-parent who used to moderate a message board. She said they have sticky topics or something that people keep coming back. You want somebody to keep coming back, but you got to be consistent. This is very important. All right. So consistency, I don't care what your business is very important. All right. So anyway, y'all, that's all I have for today. Let's go make that money.